Hi, I'm Shubon, and I'm very glad to have Crisandro on what isn't a great day for us Yids, but, you know, unfortunately we lost North London derby. Chris, you were there. What was it like getting back to the tube station?
Hi everyone. I don't know. It was the whole, how do I explain it? And the whole thing was kind of like anger from the 60th minute until I got home. I don't know actually how I got back that well without actually hurting anybody.
Yeah.
To clarify that, basically I just.
Well, I think it's this thing. We'll obviously, because I had a weird dream last night. For some reason, I dreamt I was going to the game, and for some reason I somehow ended up in a fight with multiple of them, and it was like something out of the Hunger Games or something. And then they're coming out with weapons, and I remember sidekicking one of them, which is odd because I never use a sidekick in anything. But you know, that was just no. I mean, here's the thing. I can think, apart from, obviously the Arsenal fans are delirious, the Chelsea fans are obviously happy, as are the West Ham fans, but I can think someone else who's very happy. I think Toby Alderweireld's agent is buying himself a new boat. Because, you know, because like it or something, one way or another, his nominee, or the person he represents, you know, his client, is getting paid handsomely. So do we? I mean, I know. I haven't bothered looking at the whole press conference. It was just too depressing. But I know he did defend Foyth, but throughout that, I mean, some of his passing was errant, and Aurier. I mean, that first goal happened because Aurier didn't track the ball properly. He then went OTT, as he's done before in the past, and gives away a needless free kick. And then Jan decides to be very generous and thinks he really is Superman, and decides to fly to the rescue.
Yeah, I completely missed it. I didn't actually know it was a handball at the time, because I was going to go off, I didn't actually see anything, and everyone was appealing around us, was like, what's going on? And the referee just kind of think about it, take a penalty there.
It was a handball. Just
the way that Jan just kind of picked himself up and then just walked back very slowly, he handled the ball, but was it stop the goal scoring kind of like move?
Well, it wouldn't know. If it was Dominic goal, that would have been a deliberate handball, and that would have been like, I mean, he was very lucky. He was very lucky because the way he put his hand out, and first of all, it's not natural. Number one, as Fabregas wasn't in that position. Secondly, Mustafi somehow beat him to the header, but it was so it was just, and it was an absolute comedy set of errors, and but then we seemed to turn it around, which then led to a fight, and there seemed to be throat grabbing and everything, and somehow the referee only books Eric Dyer, doesn't book any of the substitutes, doesn't say, look, Jessica, can you even book a substitute? I don't know. So he did. So he didn't do any of that. So I would love to know what that referee did and didn't do, because as far as I can tell from what I saw on Sky, they were celebrating, and then out of nowhere he grabs Ramsey grabs Dyer, and then a couple of the other players come steaming in to protect their teammates. It all kicks off. Then Dele Alli gets involved. Obviously, naturally gets involved. And there was those throat grabbing. You see literally Pochettino running to break up this fight.
I just kind of wonder how that will take place.
Yeah, but it was.
Somebody said that when I was sitting there,
hey, he put the lips to the hand, but it's not as if it's but we'll
one of the players got involved. I mean, the Arsenal players got involved in some throat grabbing.
Yeah, there's a difference between some throat grabbing, but he's there. He's at an angle. He's far away. if you're an Arsenal substitute, the last thing you want to do is be near that. So you know what? You have to back away. You know, yeah. The referee will book. Yeah, probably will book. I'm sure Torreira scored his 4th goal. He took a shot. He got booked for doing that. And the referee, you leave the referee to do that. But the minute you lay hands on someone else, guess what? I think you have every right to defend yourself. And now the FA, who obviously are known for doing sweet FA anyway, will do nothing about this because I said the referee handled it. Well, how can he have handled it? There's no way he could have seen all of that. And I'm more than happy to say, yeah, obviously that doesn't help us, but this is when you need those VARs because there was throw grabbing everything, and Lacazette I think grabbed throw, and people are defending themselves. If you're grabbing at me, if you're going to grab my throat, I'm going to punch you in the fucking face. You're grabbing my throat. Well, obviously I can do a lot more than that, but it's just like I said, and it got me really hot up. But for me, I think that's a distraction. I mean, we got. Like I said, I think personally, I said Foyth. Aurier and Foyth. Aurier, I think Emery actually. I don't know if he signed Sergio Aurier back in the day for PSG. I'm not sure if he did. He might not. I know he definitely managed him. Actually, he might have done actually because I don't know. I don't think he did actually. Cause I know he did because he didn't. Isn't it Emery? Isn't Aurier the one that he did something? No, I don't think he did actually. I think Laurent Blanc signed him because I think.
Oh right, yeah.
I think Laurent Blanc signed him because obviously Sergio Aurier infamously did that thing on Periscope about Laurent Blanc. So Emery joined afterwards. Yeah. But Emery would have managed him for at least a number of years. So also know him well, and I think he was able to target him and use his knowledge of those players. And that was, I think Pochettino. It was Tottenham vs Arsenal, but I think Pochettino was outdone by Emery in this. Good old Dick Emery. He was awful. I don't like him.
It was kind of, after we turned it around and we played our best spell of that half. We really just 15, probably all board in 20 minutes. We played very well. The rest of it belongs to Arsenal. They completely battered us that first half. And then we turned it around 2-1 half time. I don't know what happened in that break where we just...
It was a beautiful goal by Aubameyang. I'll give him that. Aubameyang hit it first time.
Well, no, I don't mind the goal. It was just literally, we did nothing in that second half. We didn't even press them. We didn't even chase after them.
And we didn't change anything. They didn't change anything. I mean, you could tell. I mean, for me personally, I was screaming at the screen saying, why is he not bringing on Harry Winks? We're 2-2. Let's get some bodies into that midfield. Let's control the midfield a bit more. Soko isn't really affecting them as badly as I would have thought or would have hoped. So let's get some. Let's replace Winks for Soko. Let's get a bit more control in that midfield. They've obviously weakened their midfield to bring on 2 strikers. So let's get some numbers into that midfield, control the midfield, and we rebuild. And he doesn't do that. We go 3-2 down, then 4-2 down, and that's when he thinks, do you know what? I'm going to bring on 2 more players.
Well, it wasn't even when we got 4-2 down. It was when we went 4-2 down, and a good 5 minutes went by, and they almost went 5-2, and then he thought, okay, I'm in the clinch.
Yeah, clearly, yeah. I honestly, I had visions of that 2012 5-2 hammering. We went to the North London. We went to the Emirates.
Which one? It was 2 years in a row.
Yeah, 2 years in a row. We went to the Emirates. We went confidently, and then it all went to pot. And you look at it and you just think, first of all, I don't understand why would you pick. I mean, I know if it's an Argentine thing, I don't want to call it that, but I think Foyth, we've seen that, he can be put under pressure. Yes, he had a decent game. It wasn't terrible against Chelsea, but defenders when they don't stand out, that's when they've done a good job. But when you put them under pressure and they buckle, that's when they've done a good job. Or they stand up. They'll either do one of 2 things. They'll either buckle and make mistakes, like Luis did, or they'll stand up and be counted, like that's that lad Bamba at Bamba at Cardiff, yeah. And I just think, yesterday, this morning we just saw that Foyth, while he has potential, and he clearly does. I mean, Emery did want him last season when he was at PSG. He's someone who's obviously scouted. He definitely knew what the kid had a weak point, And I don't want to go at him really, because I think Jan was clearly not up to speed for.
It was, I guess, what just the idea was actually interviewed by News Sports after the game. And I did say to them that because they asked a similar question, and I said I assume it was down to rotation because Adrian and played in Inter, so one of them's going to be rested for this game. Maybe we wouldn't have both of them playing, especially if Vertonghen is playing, and he's the one who's just looking come out from injury.
Yeah.
And Adrian would have been okay, so I would say play those two really. I'm sure that's the build up for the game. Voice, yeah, I mean,
his passing. I mean, it was this. None of it could trap a ball. They just wanted too much time, and you're not going to get that. You're not going to get that in the Premier League, and you're definitely not going to get that in the derby. How Mustafi was still. I mean, there were some really nasty tackles on Harry Kane, for which he should have got two yellow cards for.
Well, surprised the referee even gave free kicks for them the way he was playing at times.
Yeah, and it's just. I mean, I don't want to blame the referee. We did not help our own cause, but we then managed to get back in the game. But for some reason, whatever reason, Pochettino, he kept the faith with his formation, and we managed to get a win against Inter on Wednesday. But even he recognised, you know what, it's not happening. I need to change the personnel, and that's what he did. But for whatever reason, he just was unwilling or unable. And I thought Lloris had a decent game, but I think for the Lacazette goal, Lacazette's only going to go one way with that. He was going to try and bend it round. So
it was a quick shot, wasn't it?
It was a quick shot, but and it did deflect. But for me, I think he should be making a lot more steps to that way, because you're not going to, he'll have played against Lacazette. He knows Lacazette is very, very right-footed. The chances are he's going to try and bend it round. It makes sense. So just move that direction. I mean, obviously the deflection did help, and I'm not going to say anything against that. It does help, and sometimes deflections have gone against us. They've gone for us. Obviously famously against Real Madrid when it deflected off Ramos past to Dele Alli. So I'm not going to say anything about that. What I am going to say is that Ramos, he's lining up to shoot. He may not be able to see it, but it definitely just move even half the yard. He'll have got that. He'll have had that ball covered. But like I said, I don't think that second half performance was absolutely abject, and I think, and like I said, Torreira and Aubameyang, who I put in. I'm not. I was eating humble pie last week, because someone's going to be eating crow today. It ain't going to be me. Like I said, I thought Torreira was very good. Aubameyang was causing us problems with his pace, and this is the kind of game we really miss on like Davinson Sanchez, because he's the only. Obviously, Sissoko, which had some real good speed, and some of his recovering was great, but there were moments we were getting quite by crossfield free kicks, and I was like, they were deliberately targeting our right side, and we seemed to be very weak on there, and for whatever reason, we just couldn't seem to get around it. And then we put them on the offensive. Sonny was playing really well, caused them all kinds of problems, and for some reason, and in the first half, we started playing pretty decent. And then out of nowhere, obviously the Aubameyang equaliser, that's just a beautiful take, and you've got to drop your hand to that. But defensively, the amount of times we were given my possession, and the thing is, Foyt has to play now because Sanchez is still out, but Vertonghen is suspended, and it just irks me a little bit. Vertonghen was sent off, wasn't he?
Are you sure? I thought.
No, it was definitely Vertonghen that got sent off.
Oh, okay. It's pretty kind of special off.
Yeah, and it's just and I just, like I said, obviously we had this 2-0 loss last year when we went to the Emirates on a good run of form, and they just now spoil our party for whatever reason. Or them and the referee as well. The referee as well managed to swallow our party.
That's the thing. I don't think it's literally Arsenal swallowing our party. I mean, that's twice now. We waited at Emirates and we barely turn up.
I think we turned up in the first half. In the first half we played well, but in the second half... No, it's fun. In the first 20 minutes, but then we seemed to get settle back into the game. And at the end of the day, you've got to start first. It's like you got to be first. You got to be first to the punch. And the best thing, we weren't. We were not to that. We were not to that. And some of the football was just. There are times in which I'm not going to say play long ball, but sometimes I just think you have to play the percentages. Just in the first 10 minutes, they're going to come at you hard and fast. Don't be afraid to hook it up long. And I don't, like I said, I mean, it may go against the philosophy, so to speak. But like I said, look, Pochettino's given us some amazing performances. He was rightly praised last week against Chelsea. He was rightly praised against Spalletti for the performance against Inter. And like I said, we had 3 hard games. Chances are it was always going to slip in one of them, and it's attrition. And like I said, it was chances that it was going to happen. Chances are it was going to happen. And you may keep saying no all the time. No does not go over your Crocer.
The reason I say no is because if we played even like 10% of the way we played against either Chelsea or Inter Milan, then I'd say okay. And if we lost that game, then yeah, fair enough. We barely were there. Yeah. And I say barely because in the last 15 to 20 minutes of that first half, we started putting some stuff together and started pressuring them and started attacking them. And then, so before that, the first 25 minutes it was all Arsenal. The next 45 minutes of the second half was all Arsenal. So we were barely even in the.
Yeah. I think we literally wasn't it was literally a game they won 3/4 to 1 basically. And like I said, I would love to understand first of all why he picked. I haven't looked at the conference. I'm too depressed to even look at it, but I'm definitely on first why he picked Foyth over Alderweireld, because I'm sure that's the question he was going to be asked. And secondly, why did you wait to make substitutions? Because you were in the 80th minute, at least literally 82nd minute. The game was going away from you. Why did you not? I don't think maybe not 3-2. 3-2, yeah, it's a little bit reactionary, but at least give it a few 5 minutes. And do you know what? You're in the 50th, 60th minute. Do you know what? Now start making changes. Making changes the last 10 minutes. Bringing on Danny Rose when you literally got when you're 4-2 down. It just seemed, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not upset. I'm just disappointed. And the part of me, I said a lot. I was engaging with guys on Twitter. By the way, guys, you can find me at The Real Shubon on Twitter, and Chris is
at Crisandro _ CRISANDRO.
And I was chatting to some of the guys from the American Spurs fans, and I was saying to them, do you know what? I'm never confident about these games because they're always tough. Arsenal seem to find that extra gear. I mean, they can play terribly, but at the Emirates, they get that extra gear, and if they just get that one goal ahead, it just gives them that. Their library turns into, well, I wouldn't say a rock concert, but it just becomes alive. And like I said, I just felt that we let ourselves down, and obviously, but luckily, we've got Southampton to come up. We now have that run of games, and we can now, like I said, this would have been a game to really put a marker down on. We haven't done that. We've gone from 3rd to 5th in a heartbeat. But like I said, I still have faith in our ability as a team. Obviously, we have players come back. Danny Rose is going to be back. I'll be interested to see how he does it lines up against Southampton, because obviously Vertonghen being suspended now, I thought he would have gone with the back 3. He may still do that. He may decide to play Winks and Sissoko in a 2, and just have Ali. I don't know, have Ali and Eriksen supporting Kane. But like I said, I just looked at that and I just thought it boggles the mind. It just boggles me why play Alderweireld over Foyth. And I think, obviously, I don't know if you read. Yeah, 45 Alderweireld. So yeah, I just don't. Yeah, and like I said, it's just that's the only thing But ultimately, if we enjoy the wins, we've got to take the losses. So enjoy the crow, mate.
Well, that's the thing. I wouldn't mind the losses if we actually, performed, and that's a bit appalling, really. In all 4 games that we've lost, well, actually, we got to finish Manchester City. 3 of the 4 games we were poor, and we haven't really played at all well this season. And usually this period, November, December, January, is when we usually kick on and start performing. And so when we beat Chelsea, and here we go. This is where our usual play kicks in. And then that performance turns up today, and you kind of think, what the hell's going on? Are we back to the drawing board almost? And it's back to trying to grind out wins against, while playing badly or something like that. And that's the bit that kind of gets me.
Like I said, I don't think we were sparkling against Inter Milan, but I don't think we were poor. And I think, to be fair, you got to give we dominated. We dominated, but I think you got to remember they played Frosinone, and they had they had an easy, what I call an easy tie. We've had 3 difficult ties in a row, and you can only play what's in front of you. But that's what happens when you want to be in the Champions League. Guess what? Sometimes you will get a tough game sandwiched between a tough Champions League tie, sandwiched between 2 tough Premier League ties. That's what happens. I want to say tiredness, but I just think sometimes Arsenal were just quicker to the punch, and the best way I can describe that is I'm going to use another fight reference. There was a fight about nearly 15 years ago for the UFC light heavyweight title, and Chuck Liddell who was a massive favourite for Randy Couture, and the theory was, well, Chuck Liddell is a striker, he'll probably bash Randy on his feet. No way Randy gets close enough to take him down. But when you're watching that fight, every single time Randy's beating into the punch, he's consistently beating into the punch, takes him down, and starts battering him. And he does this for 3.5 rounds before the fight ends. And you're looking at that and you think, oh, how is this possible? And this is because, and Chuck said, look, my conditioning was nowhere near it should have been. I wasn't moving as dynamically as I should have been. My conditioning wasn't there, and guess what? He was beating to punch. He kicked my ass, And then when they had the rematch, Chuck had his conditioning sorted. He was a lot more dynamic. Ended up knocking out Randy Couture Sparkers. They fought again, knocked him out Sparkers. You see him. Well, I saw him in his last fight. He retired and had a comeback. But the difference I'm saying is that if you're not fully at it, 100% against an opponent that is 100%. Eventually something will give. Your errors will just multiply, And like I said, I'm not saying it's tiredness. I'm just saying that if you're not 100% going in against Arsenal, you will find, especially going away to Arsenal, those little errors like Sergio Aurier having. That was his 3rd game in a row he started. Now you can't say there wasn't a bit of fatigue in that because his decision making was erratic. I'm not saying he was knackered or tired, but it's mentally draining. It's mentally tired. So I wouldn't say they're physically tired, but I think mentally they weren't at it. They weren't making the right decisions. And I think ultimately that ends up costing you a little bit. But like I said, you have to move on. I'm sure Goonies will be giving me crap about it for the next few days. I take my licks and I move on.
Well, I've got some 16-year-old girls giving me a lip on Instagram now and thinks that it's the greatest result in the world, so...
This is why I keep my Instagram private.
I might be on something there, but... well, that's the thing, I completely hear what you're saying, but I was just thinking 2 visits to the Emirates in a row and we have absolutely just not turned up at all. Even if there's mental fatigue, that's 2 in a row. We haven't again in a couple of weeks' time in the Cup, or in the League Cup.
Well, I'm hoping that, like I said, I think it'll be interesting because I think obviously we have that tie. We have Southampton and Leicester, and then we have that crucial tie against Barcelona. And like I said, I've had a look. I think Barcelona are 2nd in their league. I don't know their first, second, but I know it's a very, very tight race in the whole Barcelona. in the whole La Liga race. So it's actually quite tight. I think they might. I think they're first or second. I know it's very tight at the moment, and they've got bigger fish to fry. And I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they just turned up with a bunch of kids in it for a meaningless game. They're not going to win anything. Yeah, they're not going to win it. Yeah, I don't think they're going to get any more money for winning. I mean, they may be a win bonus, but if they can just take this game off and just sat this game off and say, do you know what, I'm going to play a bunch of kids, get in experience.
Last time we played the Barcelona kids, they ran off record both at the Wembley Cup and also.
Yes, I think yeah, but that was first of all that was 2009, wasn't it?
And also, as I was saying, also in the ICC in America, where Malcolm scored, I think, a couple, didn't he?
Yeah, but I think we won that game, didn't we? We won that game, didn't we?
No, we drew 2-2 on lots of penalties.
We drew 2-2 on penalties. Okay, but this time we'll have one of our own, Harry Kane.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
so we're anyway, so we'll put on a best side. They might put a weekend side, who knows? But
I can't imagine. I mean. I wouldn't. I'm not hoping for it, but this is where I'm going to be positive. This is where I'm going to put. I'm not. I might end up being humble pie, but I just think personally, if you've got a side, I mean, I'm not saying it's like when we played. Was it Apoel in our last game, you know, and we played a whole bunch of our kids, you know, because we just didn't. Yeah, cause, I mean, we still won, obviously, we still won, but it was basically like, do you know what? This is nothing game. We're going to play, you know, whoever we're going to play. Just so we can just get through, just because we had to put numbers out, otherwise, and that was it. So like I said, I'm hoping they're going to do that. Whether it happens or not, I don't know. But like I said, we've got Southampton on Wednesday. Oh, which is obviously I'm not going to give away Chris's location, but will you be sharing your journey on the way to Wembley with any Southampton fans?
I want to go to the Southampton game. So I use tickets for that thing. I'm sure the Prairie Garden. The Prairie love the fact I'm a Spurs fan. Southampton fans hate Spurs for some reason.
Well, it could be because of the fact we knit their managers, we knit their. Well, it's fair to say it's not just us, Liverpool as well. It's not just us.
Yeah, I think we're the closest. But the Southampton game I'll be watching on TV. Every satellite reached.
Oh yeah, and again we do. None of us at the Tottenham Supplement endorse the use of an illegal stream or condone or advocate or admit to any illegal streams. I'm sure Chris was just joking about that. Clearly.
No, you see satellites are very illegal, especially in those countries where you get the satellites from. And I'll find a way of watching the game. Spurs Southampton. It is a game now that's taking on a lot of importance, especially now that Southampton they're actually kind of picking up a bit of form now, scoring goals, but still leading a quick down in a running race. And
I think defensively, I think defensively, they were very poor against United, and so hopefully, this could be the pick me up that we need. I think this is what they call a not a slump buster, but basically,
they also score goals, and the way that we conceded goals today, you kind of wonder if we can get going. Most of the players were getting their minds right for it. There's only a few days. Now that was basically a rest day, and then some training, then some conditioning, and then they'll have the games against Southampton. So hopefully,
we are coming into that stretch. We are. Like I said, it's not just us. A lot of teams. Obviously, I don't think they're. After this Europa, obviously I know Arsenal won the Europa League, their Europa League group, but essentially I don't think they have any more Europa League games, do they? I think they may have one.
They do. They have one more.
Yeah, which is a nothing game, but then but they're still.
Game up. They won the group a long time ago. So resting their players in that competition, so that's why they came into this game with fresh air house. But it is a game that we have to try and get back on the winning straight away now, because we can't afford to just.
Yeah, because we play Leicester, and I think at the stupid time of 7:45, 2 days before we're going to be playing Barcelona, it would be much better to play them. it makes more sense just to do. You know what? Why not just do a midday game?
No, that don't make much sense. Not much more. Way much sense. Yeah, too much sense. You know, if you have a team coming up all the way from London, they have to play in the evening, and then again, so that they play again on a Tuesday. It makes perfect sense, you know.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit better than the last time they had us playing on a what was it? Saturday, then on Monday.
Well, I think we played a Europa League game on a Thursday, and then we played we played Man United on the lunchtime game on the Saturday, and I'm like, how on earth?
Exactly, I remember that one.
And that was years ago. Thankfully things have changed for other teams. No, for other teams. No, not for us. No, I've always found that that's most ultimately. I've always found that literally things will benefit Spurs after the event, never before. So we always suffer these things. Yeah, always. Yeah, but like I said, I am disappointed, but like I said, it happens. We take our licks, and then we have to go into that Southampton game. Hopefully, we get a result against them, build a bit of confidence. We play Leicester, and Leicester will be interesting because then there's no real rivalry between us and Leicester anymore. And obviously, I think given that what's happened with Leicester and obviously their owner, I think I said football. Yeah, it's just football. Ultimately, it's great to win. It sucks when you lose, but there are bigger things in life, and that's why I'm gonna go with it. So anyway, please check out our webpage at supplement, facebook.com/Tottenham Supplement, and definitely if you guys do have any questions for Rantz, please I think we're gonna create a pinned topic. I think just say when you want to ask questions, and we'll say look, we can actually answer them
in the group.
Yeah.
So everyone get involved, and it was a hard defeat to take, really, especially because of the manner of it. But let's try and bounce back now. Southampton on the radar. Let's get this one. Let's get the 3 points into that one then.
No worries. As always, come on you Spurs.
Come on you Spurs. You'll take care.